Well, new this morning, the Supreme Court has rejected President Donald Trump's effort to end legal protections for 650,000 young immigrants, which is a surprise move in the midst of his re-election campaign.
Yeah, Lenore Peretta is a lawyer specializing in immigration law and a professor at the University of Utah. She joins us live now to explain the impact of this decision. So, Professor Peretta, tell us, first of all, what this means for the Dreamers, especially in the short term here.
Well, it appears to mean at least a temporary reprieve for the DACA recipients. The Supreme Court found that the administration unlawfully terminated DACA, and it didn't find, interestingly enough, it didn't find that DHS may not rescind DACA. It just found that the reasons that it gave for rescinding DACA were unlawful and violated the Administrative Procedures Act. So what this means, at least for the moment, is that DACA is safe, that DACA recipients will be able to renew their DACA, and it may even mean that new DACA applicants will be able to apply, because since the administration rescinded DACA in 2017, new applications have not been accepted. And because a dreamer has to be at least 15 years old to apply for DACA, those who were not yet 15 years old were unable to apply. So it appears from the decision that since it hasn't been rescinded, that it should go back to its original state from 2012, and that new applications will be accepted.
Okay, this has to be a big blow to the president because he has touted immigration reform. It's been part of his campaign promise from the get-go.
Yes, I believe that's true. And he has attacked immigration on many levels, from asylum to DACA to everything in between, to new policies that affect immigrants negatively, either in the U.S. or outside of the U.S., and he continues to do so. So this is definitely a defeat. Like I said, though, it doesn't mean that DHS cannot rescind DACA. They could actually do it for lawful reasons. I don't know that that would be a wise move given the election coming up. The Trump administration may be better off just accepting the Supreme Court decision and saying that now that the court has ruled, and leaving DACA alone. DACA is a popular program even among people who don't support immigration, because it does affect so many kids that came into the U.S. Without any control. So the hope is that it will be left alone and that it will continue, but we don't know. We have yet to see how the administration is going to react to the decision.
So for any DACA recipients right now, kind of spell that out for us, though. You said that it doesn't mean that DHS cannot rescind it for lawful reasons. What does that mean?
Well, and the Supreme Court specifically spoke on this. We are not deciding that DHS does not have the power to rescind. This was an executive order under President Obama in 2012. Subsequent presidents are allowed to change those executive orders. So they specifically left that open. So I don't, like I said, I don't know that it's in the administration's best interest to try to rescind it at this point. If they did so, if they attempt to do so, then they're going to have to come up with some lawful reason for doing it, other than the reason given initially in 2017, which was just that DACA was illegal at the outset. And so DACA was not illegal. It was within President Obama's power to issue that executive order. And so if they want to rescind it, they're going to have to come up with a lawful reason for doing so in order not to violate the Administrative Procedures Act.
And before we let you go, Chief Justice Roberts, generally conservative, sided with the liberal judges in this matter. Does that give us any insight to his social policy issues going forward?
Well, I think it was more of a legal decision, and if you look, the decision itself is 74 pages long. I haven't been able to read all of it. It looks like all 9 justices concurred in part of the decision, so they didn't, all agree to uphold DACA, but they did concur to a certain extent. So I think it's more about what the legal reason that DHS gave. and that reason violated the Administrative Procedures Act. So it was more of a legal decision. Justice Roberts also was on the recent decision on LGBT rights as well with Justice Gorsuch. So I think it's encouraging to see that. It's encouraging to see that even the more conservative justices will stand up to the administration and it will not just rubber stamp their decisions.
Well, Professor Perretta, I know this just came down and it's a long document, but thanks for being willing to talk to us here on short notice. We appreciate your expertise on this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's great news. Happy to do it. Thank you.
Well, new numbers continue to